We've been trying for more than a year and a half to get the Cameron School District to help us determine how many of these sexually explicit books are in the libraries. They refuse. They won't help us at all. Let me show you.
What are you doing about it? Another rhetorical question. Are you going into the library and looking for these books proactively? No, you're not. Are you allowing the parents, concerned citizens, to go in and purge your libraries? No, you're not. Why? Why aren't you? Okay, are you afraid we're going to damage any books or steal anything? Destroy the library and trash it? If that's the case, then how about a chaperone? How about video surveillance while we're in there looking for these books? If you don't want to do it, although it's your fault that these books are here, then you should at least let us do it. If you're afraid we might disrupt someone, then let's have it after hours. Let's do a search after hours. Let's do it on a weekend, right, when there's no school. In the summertime, right? Kids, I don't think there's too many kids here at school. Where there's a will, there's a way. That's my point.
This is an email that was sent from Pam Ice to Mrs. Allen. After that board meeting, we tried again, or Mrs. Allen tried again, to get us into the classroom libraries to look and see what books are being used in the classroom as part of the curriculum. Now, again, there's a bunch of issues with this email. First, you can see they're not going to let us in. They're not going to let us inspect the books. We're not going to get into these classrooms. They're not going to let it. She has also said that if we give them a few months, that they will supply us with a list of books that are in the classroom. If you go back and look at the meeting from August of last year, they ordered that these lists be created then so that they could be shared with the parents. These lists were already supposed to exist. Now, here's another concern. In the state of Missouri, any material that is used as part of the curriculum in a publicly funded school is subject to being inspected by anyone that walks in and says, I want to see the curriculum. Any curriculum content that used in the classroom is subject to, by law, to inspection by the public. Mrs. Ice is implying here that the district is not going to comply with the law. If those books are being used in the classroom as part of the class, as part of the curriculum, they're required by law to make it available for inspection. Now, they don't have to allow us in the classroom to inspect it. They can bring all those books to the office, to the conference room, and set them up there with the rest of the curriculum and allow us to inspect it. As a matter of fact, not only can they're required to do so by law. It appears that Pam Ice, who is speaking for the Cameron School District, are not going to comply with that particular law. They don't want you to know what books are in the school. They don't want you to know how bad the problem is of providing sexually explicit content to our kids. The law that I'm referring to is Missouri Revised Statute 170.231, Inspection by the Public of Instructional Material. The school board of each school district shall provide that all public school instructional material intended for use in connection with any public school classroom instruction shall be available for inspection by any person. Right there in black and white. Any material that's used as part of the class, we have the right to inspect those documents. They can't deny us that right. When Pam says here that they're not going to grant us access, if they're denying us the right to review those books, to inspect those books, they're violating the law. And this alternate option of giving us a list doesn't satisfy the law. They can't do that. For those of you who are going to question whether I know what I'm talking about or not, they're going to say I'm wrong. This is not me drawing this conclusion, folks. This is directly from the attorneys that represent the Cameron School District. The law firm that represents the school district in all legal matters relating to education is where I learned that information from. Ed Counsel is that law firm. Ed Counsel has a lot of podcasts, and they release these podcasts where they talk about legal issues that would concern a school district. I learned about 170.231 from Ed Counsel. If you listen to this podcast and Now that I'm tipping my hand here and showing the district where I'm getting these things from, the Board of Education should go and listen to these podcasts too. Ed Council is very clear in this discussion that anyone, you don't even have to be a resident of the state of Missouri, you don't have to live in the city limits of Cameron, any person can walk into the district, request to inspect instructional materials, and the school district is obligated to comply with the law and make those materials available for inspection. If those books and those classrooms are being used as part of the curriculum, if the students use those books to do homework, an assignment, you have the right to inspect those books. Pam cannot deny us that right.